How's it going, guys? It's Nathan from Nathan's DIY Garage, and today we're doing a little bit of investigation here in a oil leak problem we just happened to come across. Okay, so let me explain the situation. This is a car I actually have for sale. I took it for a drive today. It's never had a problem before. I realized getting a little bit of oil smell coming through the vents. People don't like that when you get the bottom of it real quick, so I'm going to show you how to figure that out. Okay, so pretty much with smoke and oil, we know it's the valve cover, we know it's dripping on the manifold. That's pretty much a given. When I put this valve cover, I put the engine together, put the valve cover on, didn't seal it. I ran an hour or two, went ahead and pulled the valve cover back off, checked the head bolts, checked the van nose bolts, made sure everything was tight. So then I sealed it, put it back on. Okay, everything was great for a little while. All of a sudden, you slow down a little bit, you see a little bit of smoke coming through the vents. And we just can't have that, you have to get it fixed. So let me start off with, this car has a CCV valve delete. It does not have an oil catch can. Thinking maybe it's putting a little more pressure on the gaskets, maybe, even though we know that's not the case. Went ahead and did the single hose. I read about this somewhere a while back, where you do a single hose from the valve cover and goes right to vacuum. And we go through a little adapter that's temporarily stuck this up here. It needs to go down under behind the power steering. I think it's a 7/8 or I think it's 7/8 down to a 3/8 adapter, and that hooks to the vacuum on the back of the intake. So I went and did that late last night, thinking that maybe help. It didn't do anything. Made no difference at all. So where we're at right now is we're checking the little grommets that go under the bolts. And I think I finally got to the bottom of it here. I don't know if I can show you or not. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to look down here. I don't think this camera is going to be able to show you. I'll show you up here in front. So basically what the deal is here, you want to look and see what's going on. So I'm showing you on the front because you can't see the back. And you're going to look at the sledge. You're going to want to look and see where it's leaking. And we just resealed it. We know it's not the gasket, but if you think it's a gasket, what you can do is you want to use one of these little guys that works really good. And what we're going to do, we have to look at the bottom of the gasket, and we can do that all the way around the cylinder head and see if anything's been leaking. So this thing was all wet towards the rear, and it was actually dripping on the rear oxygen sensor. So it was actually dripping back here. I don't know if you could see it or not. It's pretty much burnt off now. So what I ended up doing, I ended up switching the bolt that was wet around, switching the little rubber grommet, and I'm guessing the grommet's bad, even though they're all new. So I'm not sure what's going on here. For right now, I just pulled one off a different car, and I put it back here where it's leaking, and now it's not leaking at all. What you guys are going to have to do to be able to diagnose this, you're going to have to turn the car off. You're going to take a rag, you're going to have to wipe off all the oil and around the area you think is leaking, and even wipe under the gasket. At that point in time, you can take your mirror, you can watch it, and you can also, to see hopefully where the new fresh oil is running around, dripping on the manifold. So that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, sometimes you have crappy stuff like this. 99% of the time, we don't have no problem with that. Sometimes you get these cars in, a little rubber grommet here will have a crack in it, have a split, and it'll leak out of that. So if you think you have a problem, you probably don't have any extra bolts and grommets laying around like I did. If you think one's leaking on the bottom, take it off the bottom, put them on the top. Obviously the engine slants down, so it's going to leak more at the bottom. And we're just going to go and run this car a little longer and make sure 100% that we got it fixed. Well, we got her fixed, guys. Been running for a while. We took it for a drive. No more smoke at all, and there's no more oil seeping. A little tiny bit burning off that back oxygen sensor. You see back here, and it's still a little bit wet from before, but that should cook off. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this was a Victor Reinz gasket. I noticed even on the name brand gaskets, the little rubber grommets that go around the bolts, They're not as thick as what the factory ones were. And you know, I don't know that if you buy an OEM, which Victor Ryan's should be OEM, if it'd be any better, even one from BMW, it'd probably be the same exact thing, man. So that's it for today, guys. We'll go ahead and lock the rest of the stuff on there, put some more miles on it, but I think it was down to the rubber grommet around the bolt. So hopefully today's video helps some of you guys out, get some of your oil leaks fixed on these M54s, M52 TUs, even M52. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good day.